Alright, so today we got another DC Multiverse from Mcfarlane. This one is General Zod. Now, I put off buying this figure for a while now. I can't remember when he first came out. Several months ago, 6 months ago, 8 months ago. I can't remember when he came out. I put him off because, honestly, I didn't like this version of the character. It's just too much. There's too much going on here. You know, Zod to me is traditionally, I don't know, he's wearing either kind of a more traditional, old school Kryptonian outfit or maybe just a solid black outfit or something. So I wasn't digging the cape and the huge shoulder pads and everything on this guy, you know, just for my taste. But he was on clearance at GameStop for $17.97, 18 bucks, and then they were doing a 50% off of that, and then I had a $5 discount for being a rewards member. So this thing cost me like $4. So I went ahead and picked him up because for $4 it's kind of hard to beat that. So let's crack this guy open real quick and see what we've got inside. Alright, so here we have him out of the package. Accessories come up first, and of course we've got these two things which nobody cares about. These are not accessories. We're going to throw this one away. I'll put this into my pile of stands in case I ever have any that won't stand up on their own. And then we get a few different hands here, which I just left in the package and cut them out. So we've got a couple of fisted hands up top. We've got a clawed open right hand, and then a gripping left hand here. But I'm probably just going to leave the ones that he's got on him. He's got kind of that open hand on his left and then the gripping hand on his right. So let's take a look at the figure. And like I said, I was not a big fan of this look for Zod. It's just, I don't know, it's too medieval looking. It just doesn't look like a Kryptonian to me. It doesn't look like, you know, it doesn't look like Zod, the Zod I grew up with. And like I said, I don't have a problem if he was in a more armored suit. If it was like, I don't know, maybe solid black or something. It's a little flashy for the Zod that I grew up with, and I know some people will say, oh, but in the comics he had that look or something similar to it or whatever. I understand. I just don't care. I don't like this look for Zod. So, my opinion, I don't like this. But again, for $4, I was not going to pass this guy up. So, as far as the sculpt goes, it actually is really well done. I mean, the texturing and everything on the legs, on the suit, even his diaper here, which sometimes looks off on some of these Mcfarlane figures, looks really nice on this one. The sculpt on the boots and the shins and the knees and everything looks well done. Looks really, really nice. The gauntlets look great. Even though I'm not a big fan, the shoulder pads are really, really well done. The cape is probably the thing I don't like the most. It's just, it's not quite as bad as that Henry Cavill Superman cape, but it's just kind of big and heavy and floppy, and it's got some give to it, but not a lot. And it does weigh him down. I had to spend a minute just getting him to actually stand up properly without the weight of the cape doing that and trying to pull him back. See, there you go. You gotta do it just right and he'll stand up, but he's kind of leaning forward there a little bit. You see that? Just to get him to not fall back from his, and there we go, from his cape. So I don't like the cape. I don't like Zod with the cape, period, and I don't like this particular cape. So if I can find a way to take it off without screwing up the sculpt, I probably will, and I think I can. But we'll see about that a little bit later. As far as it goes, the sculpt is really well done. The face looks good. Not exactly the Zod I remember, but that's okay. Got kind of an older, grizzled, bearded Superman look more than a Zod look, but again, it's fine. Articulation obviously has some issues here because of his big shoulder pads that he's got, but he does have the double-jointed elbows and double-jointed knees. So he's got that going for him. He does have the newer style ball joints for his ankles, which is good. He's got some toe articulation there, which works. You know, he's got the waist swivel there, that dumbbell joint in there that works well. Head, that's as far up as he looks. He does look down pretty good. And he's got some tilt and obviously swivels all the way around. So, I mean, basic Mcfarlane stuff as far as articulation goes. And it looks good. If you like this version of the character, it's done very well. The only thing really I can complain about is the cape is just too big and heavy and wants to pull him down and knock him back. Other than that, it's a good figure. It's a solid figure. It's well sculpted. The paintwork on it is done well. Even the gold trim here and the gold on the knee pads and everything, done well. Looks good. So as far as just a figure, it's done well. So let's go ahead and compare this guy to some other figures and see how he stacks up. All right, so first up, we're going to look at Mcfarlane DC Multiverse. We got my two current favorite Superman from DC Multiverse. On the left, we've got black suited Superman with the silver accents. I do have my custom cape on there. And on the right, we've got the Page Puncher Superman, which I really like this guy. I know a lot of people have been complaining about him because of the duller colors, but I think he's a fantastic Superman. Even if on both of these Superman, their fists are way too big for their bodies, I like these two, and I think Zod stacks up well with them. All right, for some other black-clad, slightly armored figures here on the left, we've got Black Adam from the Black Adam movie. On the right, we've got Ben Affleck Batman. And I think this guy, actually, the design of his suit could work well in a kind of a live-action telling. I know we've already gotten Zod once, and honestly, I liked that suit better. But there's a lot of detail in this suit that would work well for a live action kind of Zod take, whatever you wanted to pull that from. So I think he works well with these two. For some other 7-inch scale figures we've got from NECA, we've got Flash Gordon and the Phantom from the Defenders of the Earth line. And for some 6-inch scale comparisons, we've got a couple other armored up bad guys. We've got Dr. Doom and Taskmaster. Alright, so now we just got to talk about price here, and obviously I told you guys I only paid $4 for this figure, and really any Mcfarlane figure for $4 is a steal and definitely worth it. But is it worth full retail at $20? And for me the simple answer is yes. It is a well sculpted, well painted, well articulated Superman villain. Yeah, hell yeah, it's worth $20. Just because I personally passed on it at 20 and I personally don't like this look for Zod doesn't mean that you won't like it. You may love this look for Zod or whatever, I don't know. And either way, for a really good figure, it's $20, and nowadays that's a good price for a 6 or 7-inch scale figure when so many other companies are raising their prices. The fact you can pick him up for $20 and in many cases even cheaper, yeah, definitely worth the price. Look, overall, yeah, I wanted a different design for Zod, and yeah, I picked this guy up because I got him cheap, but ultimately, it's a cool figure. As I said, sculpt, paint, articulation, everything is right where you would want it to be, and he's going to look good next to Superman on the shelf, so really, what is there to complain about? I'm glad I picked him up, and he's definitely worth taking a look at.